From curse to blessings, finding the right balance between exploitation and exploration. Tumovleka Kuaka the third. Awulai Anajay the third. Awulai Emishe Panyini the third. Awulai Ajevi Kwam the second. Awulai Atubupusu the third. Awulai Angamatwejan the second. Nanama, Mr. Chairman, Honorable MPs and DCEs of Nzema, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in my life, I am excited to see a conference organized by Nzema people to talk about and hopefully leave here with actionable steps for Nzema development. It is said that the first step in solving a problem is acknowledging that there is one. Yeye mosuma ayiko. Nzema is blessed. If Nzema was a country, we will be self-sufficient. Look around you. We have Ezule Tanwe, Ezule Siane, Ezule Manzule, Suble, Dwaye, countless lagoons and streams, the sea, a beautiful coastline, expansive arable land. We have oil, gas, and countless minerals under our land. We are indeed blessed. Nzema may not be the most highly educated, but man, do we have some of the most acclaimed personalities. King Kekuaka I, who stood up to the white man when others dared not, and held Nzema together for as long as he could. Professor William Anton Amon, the first African to school in Europe. Pa Grant, the visionary who set Ghana on the path to self-governance. And Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's founder and African of the millennium. Did you know that the chief imam, His Eminence Sheikh Osmanu Nuhu Sharabutu, Ghana's beloved symbol of religious harmony and peace, is an Nzema? Sadly, the wealth of our mineral and gas resources have yet to be fully felt in the lives of many of our compatriots. Every year, billions of dollars worth of oil and gas is taken offshore along our coast. Yet, these very communities contain some of the poorest people in Ghana today. There is zero amount earmarked from this resource that is taken off our coast from Cape 3 Points, which is Andengale, to Newtown, Avulienu. Ironically, Jomoro, which gave Ghana victory in its dispute with La Côte d'Ivoire over the oil resource, has some of the worst road networks in Ghana today. Nyamle elonzema pale ebuaye pale. Na momle kanla leke. Alfred say ironically, ni nyene shimomo ye lebela. Ye dayan zema mwane. Ye nya de bi pale bi yenvinwa. It is not right, and we must not be okay with it. As custodians of the land and as indigents, best practice requires that some equity interest accrue to indigenous peoples. Our equity interest should take care of us and our most vulnerable, not charity. This wrong must be rectified by the state of Ghana and all companies operating in Nzema, especially the Jubilee partners, any Ghana Gas, Nguvu Holdings, and the rest. Did you know that Adamos Resources has had 4 different owners in its existence, with the most recent change happening just last year? A 1-year-old private company, Nguvu Holdings, now owns 90% of Adamos Resources, whose concessions is almost a third of Elambale. Let me ask, how much of this is owned by the community? To make it easier, we have made a case for a West Coast Economic Development Fund. I entreat all of you here to take a read and let us start with it. In the same vein, i.e., in the need to be represented as equity partners rather than as a charity case, we have laid out, as Nzema concerns the recommendations, a document for the proposed petroleum hub project in Jamara. We have recommended some actions, some recommendations, and I urge you all to take a look. Again, I entreat all of you to please read. In the interest of equity, fairness, social justice, and best practice when it comes to indigenous peoples, the time of exploitation is over. So as you can see from here, we make recommendations regarding the large land size, and we ask for a phased approach so that additional land is released as key milestones are achieved. We ask for equitable compensation. And so on top of a fair compensation to the actual landowners, that there's a 10% equity interest set up for Nzema for being custodians of this land. We also ask for fair representation on the board of the Hub Commission. Now, when it comes to environmental protection, we ask for safeguards for Domolino, Amanzule, and Tanua. And then when it comes to infrastructure, social, and skills development, we ask for seamless development so that our people, our communities are developed as the hub develops. Ashima muala moye ka ofan hub nyamla. Taka yengro ka obaw. Ne momo yakpunda ke obala and Nzema mali ongamuzi. Yakpunda ke Nzema mali kemuzi. Now to our mineral wealth. Look around you. Around Nkrofo, Telekubukazu, Anya, Akango, Ewiroko. Look at the Ankobra, the Suble River, River Tano, the Join Lagoon. Individuals and some companies have exploited this to the extent that communities along these rivers have become their traps. Mercury, cyanide, and arsenic contamination is at alarming levels. The communities are at risk while these exploiters live in opulence. As I speak, we are in the middle of a messy excavator saga that is the envy of Hollywood. The disaster must end, and it must end now. How can this mineral resource be extracted in a way that benefits our communities? Let me remind you, there are 2 main types of mining. Mining streams and riverbeds for gold deposits, also called alluvial mining. That's one type. And then there's also underground mining. Alluvial mining does not require any skills. Within a few hours of training, some gear, and nowadays an excavator, mercury and cyanide, you can start doing alluvial mining in a swamp, along a stream, a river, or like we've seen in some communities in Nzema, right in the middle of town. Telokubukazo is one. Microphone is another. This benefits the few people who are financing it. Not even those in the trenches benefit. You know why? Because they mostly end up dead or chronically ill from mercury poisoning in a few years. Momla kanaleke. Mvutuke oni ni nyani gachire mo. Na na nyamle vema ya ma wo Nzema azare ya bola. Ye dule mo bleti kakrala. On va debie biala on ma ye nyamva so biala ye mvizo. If anything menimola finance, menimola yizu kwa agdo excavators mo. Agdo mvutuke la. Bema ye be nyaba mo. Na yang bavra ni yemrega mu a mo be gwanu abale dize ejimala. Ezukwechi mo be benya inala. Ongoju avra ovronu. Ishaisho avra buru ene iye wuri. Ba don't know. But ask yourself, who bears the greater risk of the environmental catastrophe they leave behind? In the year 2020 alone, an estimated 120 tons of gold was mined in Ghana. Now, if you multiply that by the price of $1,800 an ounce, you get 7.6 billion United States dollars as money that people made from mining gold in Ghana in the year 2020. How much of this do you think went to the government of Ghana? Less than $200 million. And so, how much do you think went to communities like Jomoro, Elambele, and Evaluajura? Not much. What about the environmental costs? I know 2 people who have died in Elambele, falling into pits. Hekurakon wanya. Ya kike kuragale mo wuri wo telokobokazora. And then there are about 4 others who have also died in relation to skirmishes between the community and a known mining company, with some injured and maimed for life. We have open pits filled with mercury and cyanide. Some have been around for more than 2 years. We see cocoa farms and palm plantations, results of many years of toils by our hard-working farmers, torn down in one night. The destroyed Joint Lagoon and Cobra, Tanue, Suble, deprived fishermen and farmers of their livelihood. The lost forest cover resulting in flooding is all around us. Just last year alone, we all saw Nkrofo flood. We hadn't seen that before. The health impact of the heavy metals seeping to our underground water system and our food chain is going to be felt now and decades to come. Currently, any mining going on in Ghana, in Nzema, is alluvial. From large companies like Adamos to the recent Galamsey at NAS that landed our Honorable DCE of Elambele in prison. All of them. Now let's ask ourselves, how has this benefited the people? Even with the so-called legal mining regime, can anyone in this room point to a single mined area that has been successfully reclaimed? Underground mining, on the other hand, is more resource intensive and requires more planning and investment. It comes with good jobs, has less impact on the environment, and can be better regulated. The Minerals Commission will tell you. Here's my question to all of us. Can we, a united Nzema, insist that we do not want any mining on our land unless it is better regulated underground mining with assured safeguards and benefits for our people and the environment? Of course we can, and we must. No, I don't mean the royalties focused ones like our friends in Obuasi and Prestia are dealing with. The royalty-focused mining regime in Ghana is a colonial relic that must change if we want our communities to be like Cape Town in South Africa and other thriving, developed mining communities in the world. So, since Nzema has usually led the conversation and major developments in the country, what can we do to change the narrative? First, we must tell the government of Ghana that A, Nzema lands are not for alluvial mining. No mining can happen on our lands without Nanano allowing it. It means that, respectfully, if our Nzema lands get destroyed by alluvial mining, whether legal or illegal, Nanano, respectfully, are responsible for it. May I refer to the recent case of Kwaobli near Nuba, where our own Tomovile Kakuaka III and the youth stood up, fought against it, and sent the Galamsey, nicknamed community mining troops away? Similarly, the Efutu Traditional Council came together to denounce any mining in the Muni Pumaze Ramsar site. They stood firm, and government yielded. We need to see the same, Nanamo, with all due respect. B, any investor who comes to do underground mining in Nzema or any kind of venture must ensure that irrespective of what government takes, the immediate community, as well as Nzema Maanle, must have an equity stake in it. It must be a take it or leave it affair. Trust me, if it makes economic sense, they will take it. Corporate social responsibility, or CSIR, can be on top of equity interest. It can never replace the people's stake in their land. Again, equity, not charity. C, our land has many uses, and so we mustn't blindly agree to mining that doesn't benefit our people. The tourism value of Nkrofo and Halfasini as a result of Nkroma alone can earn us billions. What it takes is proper planning, branding, and infrastructure. But who will visit a mercury-contaminated land with open Galamsey pits? Nobody will. Axim, Benyili, and Halfasini have castles and other relics that can attract a lot of tourists. We have a beautiful, mostly serene, uncontaminated coastline. We have a Manzule that runs from Azureruanu to Nzulazo and beyond, with several serene tributaries. Imagine the potential for tourism and recreation. Culturally, we boast of a unique culture, a rich history that we can showcase with pride. We can develop large-scale coconut, cassava, and other crops, add value for local consumption and export. So you see, we have a lot of uses for our land apart from mining that destroys it. In short, we have everything it takes to give our people jobs in a clean, sustainable, and safe manner. What we need are leaders with the right vision and grit to get us there. We have them in this room. Let's start today. For the past, present, and future pride of Nzema. God bless Nzema Maanle. God bless our homeland Ghana. Mediama. Mome halasika laleke. Ya zele moyele. Ye nyevle moyele. Ya zure moyele la. Ta mining na ngumche. Ye fe yo babwa ya. Sanke kakra mining yo moye. Ye momu ye kra ye fe ye. Nyevra azukwaliye. Ye kra ye fe biye dua bede one kukwe. E yang gbere. Ye factories out of those. Ye bakra ya ma ye woni ye ma ejima akino kumeni mo yejima wa ya zara odike yenya chafa ya finu ha mo ye ba kura ya va ya anya ye hu ya va ya ye ya keboa onika ya saki ya zara e debi mu anase me ye be mo suma. God bless us all. Thank you.